Hello, everyone. How are you? Okay, we're moving on to our second Lambda function. In the previous video, we created a Lambda function to get all items. So these 4 pieces of artwork. And today we need to focus on doing it dynamically to get 1 piece of artwork. Basically, it'll be this click of a button here in the end, the final product. Be returning 1 item dynamically. Okay, so what can we do? Let's go to the AWS Management Console here, and always we'll go slow. First, we'll go to Lambda and create that function. So we're going to create a function. We will call it, the last one was GetAllArt, I think, and this one can be get 1 piece of art. Okay, Python to make it easy and create function. Always, while we wait, please like, share, and subscribe. I do appreciate all the support. Okay, so now we're in our wonderful get 1 piece of art function. We will go to the Lambda function tab, and we will replace this wonderful function with another wonderful function. One that says, I asked ChatGPT to create a Lambda function using Python to get 1 item from a DynamoDB table using the ID of the item. And when I asked ChatGPT to do me that favor, they did not return this. I did need to refactor and fight and struggle to get a product that would be easier for my front end to interact with. So let's talk about it. We have our table name, which is just our artwork, okay? And we have a key variable, which is referring to the event. We have the parameter here and the event, which is a payload, which we're going to, this event ID payload, we're going to talk about in a minute. We're going to come back to this. Let's go down to our try except block. In the try, we have a response variable, which is defined by this block of code. We get the table, right? Just our artwork. And we have a key, which is an object. And this ID here is referring to the partition key from the table, and that we called it ID. And this key here is basically we're matching the 2. And this key is referring to the payload here, the event ID, that we need to configure now. So let's do that. We're going to go here. We're going to do configure test event. Let's say we'll call this get first ID, okay? And if you remember in the first video, we didn't really need to worry about this, but this time, because we're kind of matching it with dynamic values, we do have to worry about it a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and call the key, it's going to be ID, right? ID with the value of 1. We'll save that. And that is what is going to return from the test event. So we'll basically have 1 to 1, 1 matching 1, okay, from the DynamoDB table. Okay, and then this response, we add to this small block of code where what we're going to do is return a standard dictionary format. So again, so that the front end is able to read it easily to display it in the UI. Call that queried item, and that's what we return. And you'll see it in a couple of minutes because we're not finished yet. Because if I deploy this and test it, we are going to have a problem. Do you know what that problem is? Do you remember from the first time? We're gonna get that access denied exception. You remember with AWS, you have to give your services permission to interact with other services. For Lambda, for this Lambda function, it can't just access a DynamoDB table without permission. So we need to do that. We need to grant it permission. Do you remember what tab we go to here? Yeah, we're going to go to configuration. Remember that once you create a Lambda function, a role is created for you. So we'll go to that role. When I click this, we're going to open up a new tab for IAM. Remember that identity and access management. I told you, just kind of think of it as, referring to permissions. So we're going to go here to add permissions. I'm going to create an inline policy and add it to this role. Going to JSON. Get some space here, some elbow room. All right, go back to Notion, go to my policies. Here, I asked ChatGPT, create an inline policy that will grant permissions for a Lambda function to interact with a DynamoDB table and get read one item. All right, so copy that, paste it here. All right, now let's review this. What are we doing here? We have an effect, which is allow. So we're allowing Lambda to do something. What are we allowing it to do? To get one item, to get an item from DynamoDB. And the resource, again, is to refer to the specific DynamoDB table that we want to interact with. So that's that, right? Okay. All right, let's go ahead and add this policy to my role, meaningful name, right? So what can we say? We can say get one piece of art policy. Okay, so we're going to go down, create policy, and that should be done. That should do it. We should be finishing up soon. So go back to Lambda. Go back to code, and I will go back to my function, and I will test it again, and the magic should happen. Ooh, very nice. The magic happened. So we get back that, that queried item, right? That's the result here in a very simple object format that will be able to display in the UI very easily when we're interacting with our code on the front end. Okay, so just to preview the next step is we're going to be creating our API gateway endpoint that will trigger this Lambda function and show this information here in the UI. Okay. So basically, if I'll go to my code here, the next video, we will create that API gateway endpoint and, refactor this code with that API gateway endpoint. And then we will finish, basically. We'll create 2 endpoints, one for each Lambda function, and we'll be done. Okay, I think we did it. I think we did it for today. Again, please like, subscribe, share, leave constructive criticism, in the comments. I do want to make the videos better every time. And thank you. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have a wonderful day.